What's going on, guys? Welcome. The Mining Roundtable, episode 24. We're here with the hobbyist miner. I'm Chump Change, and we got a special guest appearance, Sir Yeti from across the pond. What's going on, guys?
How you doing?
Hello.
I'm doing good, man. Yeti, talk to us. How does it feel to show your face finally?
I thought it was about time that as soon as I'm in America and, I met all you guys, and I thought it was about time.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm happy to have you on. Real quick, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. We have Hawk Crypto in here. What's going on, buddy? 56, Solar Miner. We have Ragnarok, Hereby Service, Crypto Tito, Brian Hollywood, New England Crypto. What's up, man? Good to see you. Fudweiser. Who else? Automatic Beats, K-Trim, Calamon Mining, Slick Nick, Patrick Murphy. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Georgie, what's going on, man? Brian Hollywood. All right. I'm done. I don't know if I already said Brian, but anyways, I forgot to give you my damn S9. I'm gonna have to mail that to you. All right. So what's going on? What's new with you, hobbyist? Anything in particular?
Well, first off, all 100 of you in chat, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Help out the YouTube algorithm. Help out Mr. Chump Change here.
Please,
greatly
please.
Appreciated. We just hit 101. I told Chump Change before, and so we're not going live until we hit 100. And literally within the first minute of the stream, we hit 100. So awesome.
That's great.
What's new with me? Finally getting to some projects I didn't have the opportunity to with the shed. Shed's pretty much done. There's nothing else I need to do with the shed at this point. I literally put a shelf in my shed yesterday for my laptop, so I don't have to keep holding it while I'm in there. Like that was like the last thing I needed to do.
Yeah.
But other than that, things have been good. I'm rekindling that S19J project with the airflow again. That'll be coming up in the next few weeks. No fires. Nothing. We're good. Cross the fingers,
Oh, man.
Did I talk with so many people about that regarding like them actually running like fanless? So I don't feel like a fool. Believe it or not, those interested, I actually had someone reach out to me that has a boatload of those, and they've said this has happened to them several times. It's all in that first. It's all in that first slot, the first hashboard. They said that has happened to them at least 10 times, and they have a boatload of these things. So I feel a lot better about myself. And they said, yeah, it's just a malfunction. It's literally a malfunction of the board. And I'm like, holy cow. Yeah, insane. Just catch up on projects and, lots of fun stuff coming down the pipeline for the channel and everything going on. So, yeah, that's what awesome. What about you? What do you got going on, Chump Change?
Gonna be diving back into the solar mining stuff now that I got all my server cases out of the way, and I can set up a rack with just the ASIC miners. That's kind of my goal in the next couple of days. I got some more batteries to hook up, so it's gonna be interesting to say the least. Real quick, I want to address some super chats. 56, thank you so much for the $5 of ramen noodles and Yeti across the board. Appreciate it. Hawk Crypto, thanks for the $10 super chat. He said Etzner has over 3,000 flux nodes and 16% of all Ethereum validators and are kicking them all offline. Really? There will be no merge. They won't be able to. I just had to laugh at that. I'm sorry. They won't be able to. They lose the 60%. Yeti knows what's up. Dude, you know what? It's just funny because I don't want to see you lose the money, but he's never going to give up on the whole merge thing. Isn't going to happen. So I hope it doesn't happen just because it'd be friggin' hysterical and it'd be so out of left field. But I don't know. They said they were going to do it and roll with the punches on this one. Yeti, give us your take on this. I know you and Hawk are doing a video tomorrow talking about this whole thing. So don't give away too much, but give us a little bit, whatever you think.
Well,
you think it's going to merge?
It's a bit... I think they're going to merge whether we want them to or not, and whether or not there's going to be no middle ground.
Right.
Absolutely none. It'll either work or it won't.
Right. Yeah, no, I kind of agree.
Yeah, it's very much in the tech space and the technology space. You very much have if you get to X point and you're not being successful, you roll back. That's traditional in any tech space, any development space. I haven't heard anything regarding that of hey, if we are at this mark and we're not in a successful situation, we're going to roll back. I think all things aside, they're just going to literally stumble through it regardless of the outcome, who it affects, the cost, any of it. the time keeps ticking down lower and lower. I mean, checking on the Wien merge site, we're in 12 days right now. So it's even before, like, we're not even for the 15th anymore. You know, based off of the current, difficulty and block timings, we're at 12 days and 15 hours as of recording this video. So,
Oh, really?
That could
so
kick
it's
up
earlier.
yeah. So
Oh,
that
damn.
could kick up to 10 days. You know, it's been hyper accelerated the way it's been going. So in reality, in 10 days, we could be seeing the Ethereum merge.
Hawk, you better plug my rigs in. I only got 10 days, damn it. Oh man, I thought we were gonna have more. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they said they were gonna do it one way or the other, so that's kind of where I'm leaning. I think it's just gonna happen, and then they're gonna roll with the punches. And you know what? If it fails, I don't know, man. They're gonna be very upset. But sorry, go ahead, Yeti. What'd you say?
No, I was just saying that's a lot of money to be playing with.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like all these guys, like all the devs there, like everybody intertwined with the project, like they gotta be nervous. Because like what if the price tanks? Who knows? I mean, I'm hoping that it makes the price go up. I mean, that's what we're all hoping, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, they're kicking out like 90% of the population, so I don't know how crazy it's gonna be. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's gonna take out the circulation, right?
Though. Yeah, you want them to succeed though.
Oh, 100%.
Because if this is a shit show and it fails miserably and it's a mess, it's going to be mainstream media. It's going to put a lot less faith in crypto. Like people aren't educated. They just see, hey, this has occurred and this is how much loss there's been, or these are the people that are affected by it. You want it to go smooth as butter. Because then it's like, great, it's occurred, and now we move on. That next stage of proof of work mining is now upon us, and we can continue. Versus several days of just drama and news and failure and everything. It's like, we don't want that. You want crypto to become mainstream so that it gets rolled into, a lot of these larger exchanges and I mean, there's a lot of hesitation around crypto, and this would not help us at all. So a lot of people are like Hawk, for example, down with Ethereum, totally understood. That's from the emotional side. But if you look at it from the actual value for us as GPU miners, we need it to succeed so that we as GPU miners can now move on to the next few coins and the next three proofs of work. So
right. And then sell our Ethereum to afford our electric bill while we're doing it, right? Is that what you're getting at?
What are you worried about electric bill now? You don't have electric bill. You just have a service fee you pay now. Come on now.
I mean, I still gotta pay him, I guess, right? But it's definitely like a third of what I was paying, which is insane. Well, I mean, it's close to it, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's nuts. Real quick, the Mining King, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I totally forgot to address it. He said, love you, Yeti. I think the original plan for the face reveal was more fun though. Yeah, it was. We were gonna do some sort of hack glitch in between videos, but
oh, cool.
It was just tough to figure out how to do it. You know what I mean? If Yeti had his own channel, it would have been a lot easier for us to implement it. You know what I mean? Because then people would have been watching his videos wondering who the hell he was this whole time anyways. But yeah, it would have just been really tough. But Yeti, either way, you have a beautiful face. I'm happy you're here, buddy. All right, if you guys have any questions in the chat, please feel free to ask us. This is an AMA hangout, talk about whatever. And DM Mining said Neox is up 20%. What do you guys think about that? You guys mining Neoxa? Are you guys into it at all? Yeti, we'll start with you, I guess.
I did a bit of Neoxa right at the very beginning.
You started your own pool, right?
Yeah, we even had a small Neoxa pool for a while that we were running, and at one point we had probably one of the top 5 in the sizes. We had pretty much 30 of us mining in that.
Right.
I got my bag and sort of turned it off as soon as my graphics cards do not appreciate kapow.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm dreading it. I turned on my 3090s for a second the other day, and I'm like, I don't really want to mine on these. I don't want them to get too hot. I saw one of them was getting to 90, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's not even that hot for a 3090, but still, it's just bothered me on the memory. Hawk, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You don't have to super chat. I will read your text, I promise. He said, of course, for the greater good, I want Ethereum to succeed, but if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's not greener. Don't give me that BS. Love you, Holly.
No, appreciate it.
Oh,
Appreciate
man.
it.
So what about you, Neoxa?
Yeah, so I did some mining on Neoxa some time ago, decent amount, and then I actually stopped for a short period, and then a few weeks ago I actually put 2 8-rig 6600s on it because I was like, all right, 6600s, they're not going to perform the best, but I'm not going to have the heat issues, which is awesome. Like that, if you want to put anything on Capal, put like your 6600s on it, and they don't mind it. They run no problem with it. So yeah, I had them running on it, and I still have, I think I still have one I left like 1 GP on it. I'm a firm believer in just like continuing to have your bags grow, even at a small amount. It's better than nothing, you know.
Right.
So Neoxa is definitely one of those that I have, you know, continuing to grow. And I got this giveaway going on with Miner Pool right now, and they sent me the Neoxa. It was the 300,000 Neoxa they sent me. It was like a few weeks ago. So it was down a lot more. And then it like popped, and I'm like, wow, I have a few $1,000s in Neoxa sitting here to give away. And like, this is awesome. Like, it was nowhere near this. So I was laughing with their team a little bit about it, because I was like, thanks. You know, now granted it's come down, but it's still significantly higher than what it was. Right. Who knows what will happen with Neoxa? Who knows? I mean, I'm happy to see it in the top 5 constantly, but we'll definitely have to see if it stays that way after the merge. Yeah,
it'll be interesting, that's for sure. I mean, I love the project. I thoroughly enjoy the you know, gaming and earning, and it's neat, right? But at the same time, I'm like, I almost wish there was a mini Doge miner for Neoxa, because I want to collect the bag, but I don't have time to freaking play all the time, and I'm not using Kapow. I just can't do it. It's crazy. Georgie said, as a master plumber, to me, are you qualified to touch the main water line in your house, or is that something the city outsources to? So yeah, so I can technically, we as a plumber in this state anyways, I'm in Massachusetts, right? So in this state, you own 10 feet outside the foundation wall, typically. Sometimes like places will say that you own anything after the meter, right? So it really depends. You got to ask. That's really how it is. But don't mess with your meter, please. There's like a wire on it. You break that wire, they'll be charging like $5,000 a day. I'm not even kidding. It's insane if you get caught with that. Yeah, it's crazy. If you're stealing water, they take it as like robbing a bank. It's nuts. The Mining King, thanks for being a member for 7 months. You're awesome. He said, LOL Miner just announced increased hash rate for AMD on Flux. This is looking good for all of the Team Red owners. I actually did try that. Yeti was actually messing with my 5700, right?
Yes, I was.
Is that actually working?
I don't think so.
It's more like 5 to 10%.
Okay, because when I looked at the 5700s, I was like, that doesn't look much different than the other one, because I asked them to put 2 of the 5700s on one flight sheet and leave 1 on the regular, like Mini Z or whatever they were using. So the LOL miner, the beta version, is what you needed to use for that 20% more, and it just didn't work. I mean, it didn't seem like it worked anyways. It might have went up a tiny bit, but one of the cards was low, one of them was a little higher. So I don't know. Did you mess with it too long, Yeti, or how did that go?
Well, we tried to get all of them running. Running 4 flight sheets on a single machine is always a good challenge, shall we say. But yeah, I mean, they didn't seem to be much in the way of extra performance, shall we say. Or at least not yet, is probably the better way to put it. They probably will get there. It's just they need a bit of feedback. That's why they put out the open beta. Once they get that bit like Team Red and their ARM mode. That was in beta for a couple of weeks, getting feedback on what works, what doesn't, which cards do get the benefit, which don't. And before you know it, then they came out with the full release, and it was a lot better. So I wouldn't be surprised if LOL do something similar.
Fuck, what are you doing, buddy?
I thought I had saw somewhere that Flux was actually working on adjusting their algorithm to make it more efficient for AMD. Did you guys hear that as well? Okay.
Yeah, I've heard something similar.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. That's
Yeah.
it's kind of weird how they do that, right? Like, how can they just make things more efficient or like more hash rate? It kind of blows my mind. I don't know. Yeti, you might know a little bit about that, but give me 1 second. Hawk, you gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to do that. You're insane. And Brian Hollywood gifted another 5. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Crypto Dave, I noticed that too on the free membership chats. It did say to me like 1 month on somebody's, and I was like, I've been there since like, day one. I probably had same thing as you, like 16 months, right? And I just didn't send the checks. I was like, damn it, they're gonna think I canceled the membership. No, I think it's a YouTube glitch though. I really think that's what's up. So Yeti, give me that. What do you think? Like, how does that work? Like, how do they just change the like wattage this thing pulls, or the the hash rate? Like, how does it just get more or less?
A lot of that will come down to code optimization and learning the way that the algorithm stores its data on the memory, or how it processes it through the core. A lot of it will just be refinements in their own code, or a lot of them have specialized kernels for specific GPU families. And again, that could be as simple as that they update that kernel to be, more up to date with more newer drivers and everything like that. So yeah, we in the code realm, that's just active development in some regards.
Interesting.
I think it's smart. I think it's a smart move from Flux right now, just to start to look at this, because like we naturally, as GPU miners, go, okay, after the merge, like Nvidia is going to go, our green side's going to go to Flux, our red side's going to go to Ergo, and so them making these moves right now, I think they're not dumb. Like, these are, at the end of the day, right, these are businesses, guys. So like, looking at it, it's like, okay, if people were going to go to Ergo, which Ergo's been doing decently well, I've been noticing, which is fantastic. I mean, it keeps creeping, I love it. But if Flux can now be on par with where AMD is when it comes down to profitability or efficiency, things like that, I mean, I think that's going to be a big one as we move into the next 2 weeks. Like, it's going to be pretty crazy to hear how things go. So the more competition, the better. I mean, I don't want another Ethereum. I'd rather have 3, 4, 5 contenders fighting for the proof of work side. Yeah, right. 100%. I think it's great.
Been told in development, competition breeds innovation.
Yep.
100%. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Absolutely crazy.
So I thought I'd give you an update. So a while back, Chump, you and I had talked about electric rates, and like, you remember mine was going away. Yeah. Like that deal. So for those of you guys that weren't familiar, over about a year ago, when I first started getting more hash rate and more wattage usage at home, I found an electric plan. In Pennsylvania, you can rate shop the distributor side. So I found an electric plan that was unlimited, and it was $69 a month for unlimited electric on the distributor side. So long story short, I did the math right before I ended up swapping here. They ended up kicking me off the plan at my 1 year anniversary on the plan.
This guy.
They were like, hey, they're like, you use 4 times more than what you started with. We can't have you on this plan anymore. I'm like, okay, like, I wasn't going to argue it. Like, come on. So I was at around, at that point, I was about 11,000 kilowatt hours that were on my electric bill. In the last month I checked, I was down to about 9,200 because of moving stuff around with the shed and stuff. So I did the math, and I was getting 0.049 cents. That was my electric rate, 0.049. So I was rocking it. 4 cents, 5 cents, let's say. It was a beautiful thing. So anyways, I found another company that put me on their plan. Instead of $69, it was $79 a month. So it's like, I don't care, like $10 more. Right. That they let me sit on that for 2 months. They review my electric, and then they come back to me with like a new rate for their remaining, and there's no time period. So I'm like, great, no problem, let's do it. So they came back to me in less than like a week. It was like 3 days instead of 2 months. And they're like, hey, you're good for 2 months at 79, but your new rate is going to be 584. So I expected that. Like I expected that. But what that does is that'll do is so my cost per month was about $450 for right around 10,000. My new price per month will be about $950, which at about 92 to 9,500, my new electric rate is 10 cents.
Oh,
that's still pretty damn good as a homeowner. Like,
100%.
You know what?
It's better than some
5 cents was awesome. 5 cents was awesome. Like, I don't know that I'll ever see that again.
Right.
But 10 cents still allows me to be competitive in the situation that I'm in. So after the first 2 months, so we had talked about this forever ago.
Right.
And I was like, let me bring this up because like we had talked about it at one point. But yeah, so 10 cents is where I'll be at moving forward. Now the nice thing is though, is the more hash rate and the more electric I use, that actually is going to lower because that left side of my electric bill, the distribution side, is unlimited. So for $584, that side of my bill, there's two sides of the bill. The left side of the bill, I could go to 20,000 and it's still going to remain to be, it's actually going to take that price and go down because I'm taking my I'm taking my price and then dividing it by the total amount of watts that I'm using. So yeah, it'll be a home run for me. So it also encourages me to grow a little bit too, you know?
I know, that's nuts, man. Yeti, how's your electric rate over there? I know it was like something like mine, right?
Oh, it's even worse. Like,
really?
I think we're now average in the country is, well, especially if you didn't lock in just before the increase again, well in excess of 50 cents a unit now.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is horrible. How does that even?
Which is why my rigs are over
gouging
here in the States.
That is outrageous. Wow,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, so that's why Yeti's, his stuff's over here, like you just said, in the States. It's just, it makes no sense to even mine over there in the UK. That's just crazy, man. I mean, now. Yeah, that's nuts. Real quick, I forgot to mention it. Rondi, thank you so much for the $50 super chat, dude. You did not have to do that. You're insane. And yes, guys, please link your YouTube account with Discord and Misfit Mining, and you guys will get access to the VIP chat that we have. And Rondi was also a member for 16 months, dude. Thank you so much. He said, I see why the hobbyist miner loves his R9 380s.
I still got two of them. They don't work anymore. They don't work,
really?
but I still got them. And I'm holding on to them just so eventually when I get shelving here, I can put them up as trophy pieces to be like, yeah, you see?
Right. Like Red Fox does, right? He does that type of thing in the background. Yeah. That's awesome. Yep. If you guys have any questions, please add us in the chat, either of us or any of us, and we'll read it. This is an AMA setup. Yeti, actually, why don't you talk to us about your solar setup? So how does that work with mining, and how does it really affect your situation at home?
Well, I've been able to get quite creative, shall we say. So I've got some super efficient NVIDIA cards that I've been running. Got an A2000, couple of 3070s, and a 2070 EVGA that pulls like 80 watts. I can run those completely off grid for about 7 to 8 hours a day.
Oh wow,
so
that's not bad.
Yeah, I've got about 3.5 kilowatt system. So when it peaks up during the day, I'm still, plenty of headroom because I think the rig only pulls about 500 watts.
Now, does your setup push back into the grid, like feed backwards?
Yeah,
okay. All right, so you do get kind of.
So I get paid back. And the best thing is, obviously, when I actually installed it 7 years ago, the UK government was given a price match. So whatever I pay on my electric, they have to pay me back for what I sell to them. So every time their price increased me, I'm like, well, you know what? I don't actually mind too much because they're paying me the same price.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse, I guess. If you didn't have solar, though, holy hell. Absolutely not, man. That is just, I can't even.
Well, to give you an idea, when I was doing the mining, the bill was well in excess of 3,000 a month, every month.
Yeah, that's legit, man. It's awful. Like, you're selling so much crypto to pay the electric bill. It's at some point, that's why I shut everything off, because it was like, I was just mining to pay my bill. Like, why the hell am I mining? I'd rather just save my cards. It's like putting miles in your car for no reason. You know what I mean? Just didn't make any sense. K-Trim, Red Fox is doing well. He's just doing some, stuff personally. He's got a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, he's alive. He's good. Kid's good. Wife's good. The whole 9 yards. But yeah, he's just going through some stuff. The Mining King, thanks for the $10 super chat. He said, "What about Mine Farm? That's what I want to know." is that a Hawk shirt? Nice swag, man. Mining King's puckering up tonight. Listen to him.
I know, right? I know.
Yeti, talk to us. All right, so yeah, Yeti's got he's got a new setup coming to miners soon. So why don't you explain it? I'm just gonna let you handle it. Tell us all about it.
Do it.
So a couple of months ago, I had a bit of a falling out with Hive OS, shall we say? That's probably putting it mildly. And it gave me a little bit of an idea of, well, is there a gap in the market for another mining OS, shall we say? And I think there is, with a few tweaks that I've got of my own ideas that I'd like to do as well. Like, we're going to actually decentralize the API server, the download service, everything except the core database effectively is going to be decentralized, and we're going to offer incentives to the miners to run these services as well. So say you host an API server, we might go, well, for that you get your account half price. If you run all of the above, you might get your account for free and not have to pay us, and in return we then obviously get a completely decentralized system at the same time, which I like the idea of a lot. The only bit that's been a bit tricky is obviously the operating system side of things, making sure that A, it's really secure, B, we don't want to go down the 1 gig download files. We're actually going down a very different path using a Squash FS system. So you burn that to Balena Etcher, it's only 35 meg when it burns. So it burns like that.
Oh, damn.
And then it effectively unpacks itself on the first run. So it's a lot different in that mechanism than Hive, but there's going to be a lot that sounds like it's quite different. Trust me when I say it will feel very, very familiar to anyone using Hive OS or even Rave OS, to say the least.
Oh, that's awesome.
When you talk about decentralization there, are you piggybacking off of any platforms to do that, or are you trying to do that totally independently?
Completely.
Wow, good for you. And is this done by you then?
Me and a team of 3 others.
Wow, good for you. That's fantastic. I mean, that's no easy feat. So yeah, kudos to you. I mean,
I think it's other people in Misfit Mining, right?
Yeah, we've Crypto Duck is one that's been helping.
Right.
We have another guy, Jester, who's doing the operating system side. He's a very good close friend of mine. One of the few that I trust that he would actually know what he's talking about and know what he's doing. And and a few others of the members of Misfits have obviously jumped in to want to help us. I mean, D-Miners and Chili and Hawk, everyone's offered to help us out and promote it and test it. So we're a little bit behind the schedule, unfortunately. I blame Hawk for that, mainly because
I would too.
Well, this whole new operation that you're a big part of, right?
Yeah.
So Yeti, if people don't know, is helping the back end with Hawk Crypto Mining's hosting service. He's doing all like the legwork and the networking stuff to keep everybody safe, right?
Gone a little bit bigger than that.
What exactly are you doing?
I've actually purchased a percentage of Hawk's business. So
nice. That's awesome.
So I wanted to put effectively my money where my mouth was with him, and said, look, if you want me on board, then here you go, basically.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome. So you just got like a percentage of the company.
What are you doing day to day? Yeah. So what are you doing day to day involved with like the Hawk crypto mining side of things?
I do all the networking. I do all the security, overclocking, general maintenance, everything that doesn't require me to physically actually be there.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Real quick,
it's all the hard work. It's all the hard work.
Right. Matt Plumley, thank you so much. He said, appreciate you guys for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. All right, what else we got for questions? Let's see. Hawk, stop donating. You're giving me all Yeti's money. He's gonna be very upset.
So Chump, I have a story for you. A little bit embarrassing story, but I think you'll enjoy it. So most people know of my snafu with my S19J Pro and my little fire deal, you know, that occurred.
When you stuck the screwdriver in it, that
exactly.
You got a little stabby over there.
Ago, you know, that situation, you know, is like on your mind. You know, anything you do now, you think about, you know, that those types of repercussions. It's kind of a miner's worst fear next to it's fire and water. You know.
Yep.
So the other night, I was up late working on crypto mining stuff, and I went to bed. And about an hour later, no lie, you know, everyone's asleep in my house. An hour later, I hear the smoke alarm goes off.
Oh no.
And yeah.
Oh no.
I've been holding on to this story. So the smoke alarm goes off. I was holding on for here. And literally I am out my bedroom door, like stop in the hallway. I don't smell any smoke, you know, my kids are good. I am down the steps to check my garage. I open the garage door real quick. I have my jazz miner out there, no smoke smell, sprinting down to my basement. There's no miners down here anymore. So I'm like, all right, no, at that point, I had 3 miners in here, like DJ Mines or a few others in here, nothing there. I'm out back in my boxers. I don't even care. It's the middle of the night. I'm running around outside with my key to open my shed, and there's nothing. There's nothing. Oh, no. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, karma is just messing with me right now. So I come back to bed and I'm just like, and I just cut the grass that day too. So my legs are covered in grass. Like, and I'm just like, my wife's like, we all good? I'm like, there's nothing. I'm like, the smoke alarm's going off and there's nothing at all. It was just one of those like, man,
dude,
come on.
That actually, you know, it's funny. That happened to me at my old house a lot. So
really?
Dust, just random dust can do this. Spiders, believe it or not, spiders can turn it off. But yeah, it would always happen at like 2 in the morning. Like, I swear to God, it was always like 2, 3 in the morning. And it happened like 3 or 4 times. And it would scare the absolute shit out of you. Because like your kid's sleeping, you know, now you're like, you jump up and you're running to your kid because your kid's like, you know, screaming top of their lungs. You feel like an ass, you know? It's like, oh my God. But yeah, it's unfortunate.
It took me forever to fall back asleep. Yeah, it took me forever to fall back asleep because I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Like, what if there is? And it was like, it was a nightmare.
What if that freaking fireball popped all over your freaking rigs? Oh my God, dude.
There were so many things going through my mind between the bedroom and the shed, and it was like 30 seconds. Like, I was tearing through my house, like in my boxers, flying through it outside. Like, I swear, if one of my neighbors like literally saw me, I wouldn't have cared. I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm not too worried about it. It was a mess. But I was like, God, good story for Mining Roundtable.
Yeah, at least it didn't. At least nothing bad happened, because that could have been way worse.
Yep.
Jeez. All right, I'm looking through the chat. I want to see if there's any questions here. We actually did have one. Let me pull it up quick. Profit and ROI. Learning the charts as well as your mega hash and kilowatt, fellas. Incoming volatility for a few months during this change in proof of work. You can maximize on, and then he tagged me at it. This was from Troy. So I think he wants us to talk about just in general, like profit and ROI, like ROII or break even, right? When we're buying these new miners and stuff. I don't know. What's your take on it, hobbyist? Like with buying new equipment now at this point in time, like in the market with everything being, you know, down and kind of unsure. I feel like everything's riding on Ethereum at this point, which is kind of weird because everything usually rides on Bitcoin, but I feel like just because we're miners, everything's like this because of Ethereum. I mean, are you in the same page?
Yeah. Anyone getting into mining right now, you're taking an enormous risk, enormous gamble. And like, we as committed miners, you know, we're like, oh, we're good, you know, we'll be good after Ethereum. But in reality, we really don't know if we will be profitable, and if it's not profitable, how long that will be. We don't know these things. Like, you're absolutely gambling. It's totally different than stepping into the space a year ago or 2 years ago, like when I got into it. It is a totally different space right now. And so talking about ROI, it's like, man, go back. Like, I've been telling people, like, you can't even talk about ROI in the last like 6 months or more since we've been in the bear market. It's like, it's not even a thing. Like, you don't buy hardware right now to be like, when am I going to make back my return? Like, no one says that right now because it's not a reality. You can't base it off of that. I mean, this isn't a year ago, a year and a half ago, when like you bought something and you went, okay, it's under 365 days ROI. Awesome. That's a good buy.
Right.
It's a good investment. You invest it, and a year later you break even, and after that, you're making money. Everything is green after that. It's like, you are gambling as a miner right now. Don't let anyone tell you differently. It's a gamble. We really don't know where things are going to go. So, yeah, that's my perspective. Yeti, what about you? You've been in this is significantly longer. What are your kind of thoughts on what I said? Am I entirely wrong and you disagree, or no? Do you agree?
I just purchased 10 GPUs today.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm waiting for my name is Yeti and I have a problem. You know, I'm waiting for that one.
Oh yes.
This is actually the AA table.
So
where's Mining King in Chile then?
I just
get them on here.
8 2080 Ti's for Flux and a couple of 3070s.
Good for you. Would you get those in like B stock, or did you buy them used, or?
Bought them off another miner on the Discord.
Nice. God, man, you guys, that's crazy.
Offered me a deal I couldn't refuse.
Yeah, that's all that matters. And you know, as long as you guys are both happy at the end of the day, whatever is what it is. Yeti, give us your little bit of your backstory, right? With Bitcoin. You were into Bitcoin quite some time ago, right? Now, I know you were mining it, and you said, I think Hawk bought those little USB things from you, right? His lottery machine. Tell us about that, man. Like, you made some money off of those things back in the day, right?
Yeah. Back in the day, those little block eruptors mined me a good 6 Bitcoin.
Jesus, how many years ago?
Using those to mine, they were mining me roughly a Bitcoin a week at one point.
God damn.
Bitcoin a week. Can you imagine?
Holy hell.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, all right, wait. So before I ask you when you sold them, how many years ago was this?
Quite a few now.
Was it? Yeah. All right. Yeah. So did you sell them like at one of the peak moments, or did you end up selling them like on the way down?
I sold a little bit. I sold a little bit. I still have a fair chunk of it, shall we say.
That's awesome. All right, good. So retirement, basically. That's kind of where we're all at, right? Saving it for the long haul. That's awesome, dude. Holy hell. That's great.
I mean, I've got quite a crypto graveyard, shall we say, of hardware. I've got a couple of Antminer S1s. I mean, they're antique.
S1s, holy hell. Oh, you know what? Rondi was telling me about that. Because I have the S9. He's like, you know how old that thing is? Yet he's got the S1. I was like, what?
About to is I'm going to ship him an S1 just for the fun of it.
Oh my gosh. How many? Yeah. So, man, how much were those back in the day? Were they super cheap or were they expensive?
$140, I think.
Oh my god, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, man. I don't even know.
So you've been in it for a while now, as you spoke about, and I know your story just from the Meet the Miner that we had done with you regarding Bitcoin. But for those that are looking at this as their first, I mean, this is a first for everyone, the proof of stake situation, like they're that going from there to there. But based on your experience, just these bull runs, these bear markets, things, faith in crypto, it sounds like that's still there for you, especially after buying more graphics cards recently. So in your mind, you're just taking the time to double down and expand your kind of hardware. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah. In a bear market, it's always good time to buy cards because obviously prices dip. So I really tried my best to not buy at the height of the market. Unfortunately, that didn't go to plan. I bought way too many cards.
Yeah,
I think we all did.
Yeah, we all guilty of that too, man. Can't be mad at you for that. The veteran miner, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. He said, "You guys are awesome. This community is so supportive." Dude, no worries at all. We appreciate you. And he actually just dropped a video of making custom cables. It's pretty sweet. He's gonna be having his own website and be selling stuff soon. So guys, go check that out. It's pretty awesome. And then the Mining King, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. He said, "Too many people want instant profits. Do not look at the long-term picture. The people most affected will be the people who use it for a revenue stream. It is time to hodl for big returns for the future. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. 100%, I agree with that. That's kind of what I'm doing. Like I said, the reason I got into this was for one, like, yeah, I wanted to do something else in my life, right? I didn't want to just be a blue collar worker going, running a plumbing company. Like it's nice, right? It's nice having my master's license and being able to fall back on that if I want, but it's just at some point it got to be super stressful for me. So I was like, I need to find something else to do. And it was either like stock market or crypto stuff. And crypto just, it started like, I don't know, I started seeing it everywhere and it was just kind of super interesting. And then I just fell down the rabbit hole. That's pretty much how it happened. And yeah, man, I'm in it for my kids. I'm in it for the long term. I'm going to sell it when my kids are older or when I'm older and at least be able to give that to them. You know what I mean? Here you go. Here's a house. Here's whatever you need. It's paid off because I had Bitcoin. That's the hope anyways.
There you go. Smart. Definitely smart. I did see a question for you, Yeti. What is your primary complaint with Hive OS?
Oh, I did spot that. I was going to actually reply, but we can do it on.
I got you.
So I asked them a legitimate question. A few months ago, they were having some serious issues with their API services, their cloud-based services. Practically, it was up and down every 20 to 25 minutes. I asked a legitimate question in their Discord, which was, wouldn't it be a sensible bet to give something back to the miners rather than keep on charging them daily for their rigs, even though the service is unavailable? And for that, they banned me for 24 hours.
How dare you?
Really? For asking a question?
Well,
for just asking a legitimate question.
Damn.
I think they're trying to avoid like a riot scenario where it's like, oh, he poked it, so now everybody in Discord starts a flood of like, you know, type of deal. I mean, legitimate question, 100%. I don't disagree with you.
I mean, I run a business that's based on a certain level of uptime, right?
Yeah.
And if my uptime falls below that, I credit my customers. Well, you know, that's a genuine business model and a legitimate way to compensate for downtime. What I didn't see from Hive was any which option or even so much as an idea from them that they would, you know, try and give something back to apologize for all the problems that they were suffering.
Right. That's crazy, man.
A new business model with Hive OS from the payment from the revenue side, I think would definitely warrant them moving forward. You know, the current mentality of like, all right, well, when you hit X amount of rigs, we're going to charge you. And then that's not a clean method. And then, oh, we're going to charge you on the pool side too. It's like, I just feel like there's a lot of identity issues there. It's like, figure out which way you want to go. Like, part of me is like, hey, give your software for free, but then have every pool under the sun available to you, you know, if needed. And versus the way it is now, or go the subscription model and have it just. There just seems to be a lot of challenges there. And you're right. When things don't work, what are you doing to address those? And it doesn't help that their entire team is like based in Ukraine with everything going on and such. And so it's like, all right, you kind of have to understand a little bit, but at the same time, it's like you got a lot of customers here. You got a lot of people here using this. Like it's pretty much the bread and butter right now. Of the GPU mining scene. Yeah, and I know they're getting into the ASIC side of things and they got some additional pools coming out, so that is good, but yeah, definitely some changes are needed.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk in the chat real quick about Ergo being one of the next big things. A lot of people are thinking that, and I mean, I'm kind of I'm in the same boat. I think Ergo is going to take quite the leap, I guess, forward alongside Flux. I'm not sure. Did they come to Zelcore yet? I know they're coming to it, right?
Not yet.
But they didn't come to it yet. Yeah, so it's in September,
list.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly. So I think they're coming. Yeah, this should be coming to Zelcore. As soon as Ergo does that, I feel like it's going to get some sort of a pump. But I mean, who knows how much, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the coins that actually take off. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see, I mean, especially in the next 2 weeks. I'm very curious to see where we go. Like You know, right now Ergo has they have their own wallet, which is fine, and then there's a few alternatives out there which are pretty garbage. But once they get to Zelcore, it's going to be a little bit more legitimized. Something like Exodus, even more. But I think the big one's going to come into the exchanges. Like, once the exchanges aren't getting the transactions with Ethereum like they have been, they're going to be hunting down, okay, well, what are people looking for? And I think Flux and Ergo are definitely going to be the ones that get brought to the table. Ravencoin's already in place. Ravencoin's everywhere. And so it's, and I even saw the other day more exchanges picking them up, which is kudos to their team. I'm very curious on Ravencoin. I've been hearing a lot of rumblings on Ravencoin. I did hear that there's something big coming between now and the merge with Ravencoin. Is it an algo change? That would be insane. Like, all of a sudden, do we see Ravencoin break out and it's got an algo change? Like, Ravencoin's out. It's on Autolecos 2. Can you imagine? Like, it literally just comes in and Ravencoin would go nuts.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very curious what they're going to be doing with Ravencoin, because it's just been a sleeping giant, like just quiet, not a lot of project news, anything like that. People like Ravencoin, but it's too heat intensive, so it's like, all right, I'm not going to touch that. If it just comes out and just kind of scoots right around Flux and Ergo, it has the ability to. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think an algo change is in the works? Have you heard anything like that? Any thoughts?
I haven't heard anything that it's going to be algo changing, but I know there is some things coming forward. I don't know if I can even say it. Something's supposed to be released in the next couple days. Just, I guess I'll say that and I'll make a video on it. But I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet, so I don't want to like give too much away. But there is some
I like it.
Kind of cool news, the Ravencoin, so I guess we'll see where that goes. But yeah, you guys should hear it either tomorrow or next Tuesday. I guess that's really what the time frame was that I got. But yeah, it's gonna be kind of interesting. So the first is supposed to be tomorrow, so yeah,
it's tomorrow. Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be quite interesting, I guess. I mean, Ravencoin's cool. It again, yeah, like you said, just the GPU is running so hot. That's where it comes to a huge factor for a lot of people. And then the power, like the power draw, the Octominers, say you got like a bunch of cards in an X12 and you only got like 750 watt power supplies. You got like the cheap one, you know what I mean? Like the cheaper model.
Yeah.
It's going to max out pretty quick. You know what I mean? And you're going to be stressing them PSUs, and then your PDUs are probably going to be feeling it, and you're going to be tripping breakers, and things are going to have to be reworked. Unfortunately, those rigs you didn't have to touch for 2 years, yeah, you're going to have to touch them. You know what I mean? And then overclocking, that's going to be a huge pain in the ass too, because nobody knows the clocks anymore. So I think there's going to be a lot of overclocking videos coming up on channels with like, different GPUs and stuff. Because I mean, realistically, we're going to have to start doing that to help people out. What do you feel about that, Yeti? You have, I know you were trying to do my 5700. So did you guys have a lot of hard time messing with those clocks?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, some of the overclocks for Kapow algorithms are very, very unusual, especially with older generation cards. You really have to push them hard, like a lot harder than I was expecting, to be fair.
Right, because you were trying to do it on Flux, and like even going from like Ethereum to Flux, it's still trying to, you're still trying to clock a card from scratch. Like you don't know what the hell you're doing. Like it's so off from Ethereum clocks. I mean, it might be somewhat similar, but it's still got to be tweaked way different than you're used to tweaking it, because you're messing with the core a lot more than, just the memory. So yeah, it's going to be a learning curve for a lot of people. If you guys see any questions in the chat, please feel free to grab them.
Some big ones too that those you have to think about is like some of these mining farms. So like on the mining farm side, a lot of them aren't designed for that type of heat. So, we're talking about significantly more than Ethereum. So like Ethereum to Ethereum Classic, it's an easy move. Easy move. Your clocks are the same. You're updating a few odd and ends with your pool and everything, your wallets, you're good. But to have a mining farm out there, some of these bigger mining farms out there, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, everything's designed for this type of heat output, and now you can't just flip to Ravencoin. And I mean, you're literally double the heat when it comes down to when you're mining Ravencoin. It's like a lot of these farms won't be able to handle it. Some of them have been getting ahead of it and such like that, but Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we talked about Ravencoin, we talked about Neoxa, both running on those algos, so we'll see what happens. But it may be an opportunity for us to kind of, as GPU miners, if get in a little bit beforehand. But most people at home, you know, they're barely able to handle the heat right now. Let alone, oh yeah, most profitable things, Ravencoin, put all your rigs on it. It's gonna be like, I can't do that. I don't have the electric or the heat to do that, you know?
Your fire alarm will definitely go off then.
It's out in the shed. We're good. We're good.
Oh
Bring
my
it.
gosh,
Bring
dude.
it.
Terrible. Martin says, I'm experiencing issues for the Kapow with the XFX 5700 XT Micron memory. Samsung memory goes to 26 mega hash, but Micron is 15 to 16 mega hash max. Any ideas? That's a Rondi question. Rondi, you in the chat, buddy? We gotta help this guy out.
I'm sure he's in that.
Yeah, for sure. It's so Micron, I've noticed, is it's like all over the place, right? So I'm just gonna use my 6600 XTs on Ethereum, for example, right? I have 11 cards that are all different running on the same clocks, and they're all amazing. 32 mega hash. This one power color that I got GPU, I don't even know, it might be Micron, it might even be Hynix, I don't know. Let me just double check. Where is it? This guy right here. Let me just see. Yeah, so it is Micron. It's Micron memory. And this thing, so like the core was 901 and all the other cards. The core on this one had to be 800. There was the VDD, the VDD-CI, and the MVDD inside Hive OS. It was, you only had to change one number on all those other cards. I had to literally mess with all three of these numbers for hours until I got this thing to be stable. It just kept crashing, and it still only gets to 31. This is my power color 6600 XT. But it was Micron, and all the other ones are Samsung. Even though they're all different GPUs, they were still all Samsung memory, and the Micron was the one that was a complete pain in the ass. But it's just, it really takes time. You really just got to up and down things like 50 at a time. And
my Microns seem to run okay, chump.
It takes days, man, sometimes.
I've got 3277 out of them. Solid as rock.
Really?
Yeah,
nice.
The 6600s aren't too bad.
This power color, I'm telling you, when I fire it back up, I'll let you mess with it because you have access to it. It's I couldn't get any better than this. I was messing with it for hours, and this thing, Rondi's like, there's no way. He's like, there's no way it's working on 800. I'm like, dude, take my word for it. It took me like 6 hours to get to this point, and he like messed with it, and he was like, F this card, I'm not doing it anymore, and he gave up. So if you want to have at it, please feel free. My power color,
I've been fine. Wait till you start to get into things like Ergo with like the 6600s, and trying to fine tune that for some of the like I have a rig that has Samsung, Hynix, Micron in it, and all of them are they're different overclocks significantly, and then you put on top of that like the XTs. I mean, I have a rig, and yeah, I mean, I can look at it now. I mean, my Micron's totally different than my Hynix and Samsung, and I think it's going to be interesting as the merge occurs too, because like the Nvidia has made us lazy. Literally, you're setting like two things if you're locking your core. If not, you got 3 with your power limit, and you're like, all right, I'm good. And they run well. It doesn't take a lot of time to adjust things. You know, you're pretty good. But when you're talking about AMD and you got 5 or 6 different fields that you're adjusting, it definitely takes some fine tuning and almost forces you as a miner to actually take the time to overclock cards individually versus like a blanket overclock and, you know, bam, 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 you're done. Ergo, definitely, and definitely with Flux, there's very dramatic differences between overclock settings down to the memory type.
Right. No, I totally agree. Nvidia has spoiled the hell out of us this whole time. Calamon Mining, I will put out a once it's released, I'll put out a post inside Misfit Mining for you guys, so you know where to look and all that. Hawk wants to know, how long has your beard been growing, Mr. Hobbyist?
Mine? Dude, I shave almost every single day. Because day. like my shadow, man, it gets rough, but yeah, I mean, I'm trimming it once a week. But I've done the yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'm no mining king here. I mean, I would look like mining king, honestly. Like if I didn't keep up with it, I would look like mining king in 2 seconds. I have no issue growing facial hair.
It gets too itchy for me. I can't do it. Can't do it, man.
I don't like the stragglers and stuff and clean it up. It's like, nope, I'm good. Not having it.
Right. S Chang said swap that power color 6600 XT for one with Samsung memory, problem solved. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Hawk, thanks to the $4.99 super chat. You didn't have to do that. He said Yeti explain the new facility. So real quick before Yeti jumps into that, Mr. Hawk Crypto Mining has a hosting service. If you guys are interested, he's going to be opening up a new facility. Him and a couple guys. I'm not gonna say who. I don't know if it's like announced yet, but either way, Yeti will give us a little rundown of that. Hopefully, I don't know if Yeti knows too much, but give us what you know, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, so it's in collaboration with GPU Risers.
Okay, awesome.
It is
spoiler.
Yep, it is roughly 40,000 square foot of usable space.
Damn. Wow, that's a big place.
Give or take 13,000 amps of power.
Jesus,
so
that's insane.
Yeah, it's also going to take me probably having to fly out again in the next month or so. So to come and make sure that everything's set up correctly.
So now, do you know how do they have fans and stuff going in there? Like, is there already fans built in, or? Because I said it was going to be a data center, right?
There, that's something obviously that I've been sitting down with Hawk trying to work out what we need, what we might already have there. It's going to be a case of figuring it all out, but it looks like 90% is going to have to be built out.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that kind of sucks, but at the same time,
the landlord is absolutely on board with it.
Oh, really?
And is it like an open floor plan pretty much? So it kind of gives you guys the
it's a blank canvas. So we're probably going to have multiple tunnels, a bit like what the facility 1 has. We may even go too high and have a walkway around the outside. We're very much debating on all angles at the moment because there's a lot of amps that are available, and that's going to fill up quickly the moment we start taking pre-orders. I believe Hawk's already about ready to start taking pre-orders for slots at the new facility. So
that's awesome.
It's going to be a busy old next couple of months. Is going to be busy, and I'm probably going to do a lot of air miles.
Yeah, he's a crazy bastard, man. I can't believe he jumped in like head first. This guy, it's nuts how fast this entire thing is like taking off, and I'm happy for him. I hope it works out. He's got bigger balls than anybody I know, because it's absolutely insane how fast they're growing. Real quick, we had Crypto Dawn said, what is the model of that power color? So it was a 6600 XT. I don't think Rondi was getting a better hash rate. I think he just didn't believe that the Micron 6600 XT sucked. I think that was the issue there. There was another question. S Chang said, so when are you guys going to set up your own mining pool so we can join you and you earn the pool fee? That's a Yeti question. Yeti, are you thinking about doing any pools or anything like that?
Okay. I was going to keep a few secrets on Mine Farm, but
no secrets allowed.
We can give you a rundown of what the plan is eventually.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the first phase will be the operating system and web interface to do all your overclocking. Depending on how Crypto Duck is getting on with his side of the aspect, and I'm sure he's going to hate me for this one now. He's building a full-blown exchange system into Mine Farm so that you can mine and swap straight in one go. And then the logical step would be the third, and the icing on the cake would be an integrated pool as well.
Wow.
Definitely looking at a full-blown environment rather than just a piece here and a piece here and a piece here. It's one unified platform that we're looking at.
So it's kind of like the Hive On situation, right? More or less.
Think of it a bit more integrated, that you could, if you're going to mine using all of the pieces of the puzzle, shall we say, then we're only going to charge you one fee. There's not going to be a fee for the miner, a fee for the pool, a fee for the exchange. It will be one flat fee.
And
Is the exchange, you mean like
and Crypto Duck are determined to make sure that happens.
Is the exchange part, you mean more like two miners where you mine ETH now, you get paid out in BTC? Is that what you mean by exchange? Okay, yeah, that's great.
We're thinking actually like more like you could mine whatever you want to mine, and then have it pay a bit more like unmineable in that regards, but done completely all autonomous. And Crypto Duck is the one heading that up.
Damn, you guys are insane. That's awesome, man. Hell yeah.
Busy.
Yeah, that's I don't know. These guys make my head spin. It's insane how much they do on a daily basis. Like Yeti, I don't know how the hell you handle it between Hawk, Mine Farm. We had a Misfit Mining database at some point that you just kind of had to stop on, right? Yeah, you still going on. Do you want to tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean that's actually going to get a full-blown integration into Mine Farm as the database that allows for presets to be loaded in, a bit like Hives is generated by their own users. The presets will be generated via the Misfit Mining database and all the software around that.
I'm gonna put
as long as memory type is taken into consideration, that's all that matters. That's the one thing that drives me nuts about Hive OS is like memory type's not taken into consideration. It just looks at like model. And it's like, oh my god.
I just put a link in the chat for the Misfit Mining little site you're setting up over there so people could check it out. Nice. That's all right. I don't think it matters, right, Yeti? Should be fine for people to check it out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they got a lot of things into it. So I think you were trying to build it up so it's kind of like a almost like a miners, like a Facebook kind of, right? Similar to that.
Very similar, yeah. Think of a mining social media effectively.
Right. I think it'd be pretty cool. And there's also like on your profiles, they're going to have integrations with Mine Farm, so it will take all of your, all your GPUs, how much your hash rate is, like it will integrate it in like your banner above your profile. So like you can kind of, swing it around a little bit if you got like a lot of stuff going on.
Swing it around.
I don't know how else to say it, but I guess that's how you're gonna do it, right? But no, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool concept. I think it's neat. I mean, I guess we'll have to see once everything's done, then they'll be able to bring it to light. But guys, do you have any last final questions quick before we take off? We're going a little over an hour and we all have other things to do, unfortunately. But yeah, let's just see. Let me scroll through the chat quick. You guys see anything, please feel free to grab it. New England Crypto says, I love unmineable. Yes, I do too, to be honest. It's nice to get those coins you can't really mine typically, Let's see. Let me just scroll through quick. If you guys don't have any last questions, then we're going to be taking off.
Oh, so with curious on the Hawk crypto mining business, are you guys looking at I assume you guys are looking at bringing on more people to help facilitate and manage, as I know Hawk's kind of the boots on the ground guy, and that seems like a lot of it, versus the remote stuff that can be done. Is that kind of in your roadmap then to start to expand that down Florida?
We already started that process of finding some staff that will be reliable and responsive and actually knowledgeable enough to be able to be left to their own devices, and
that's great.
Yeah
no, I think that's good. The facility, the number 2 facility is significantly larger than that first one, and with onboarding customers, we constantly see Hawk doing it with like live streams and stuff, which is great. Like kudos to him, but at the end of the day, it's like you can't put all your faith into one guy with that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
He's got to sleep sometimes. So no, I totally understand.
Can't be scaled unless you bring on the right staff, and that's why GPU Risers is coming on board. That includes obviously their UK department as well. Alex over there, he's a lovely guy. He's really keen on putting his help in as well.
Great.
The Stang from the normal GPU Riser side, put all of his effort in, and You know, hopefully, fingers crossed, now that, you know, certain things are being signed and progression is, you know, me and Hawk always say, you know, we got to do something progressive every day with that. You know, otherwise it's going to get stagnant. And then as soon as it gets stagnant, people lose interest. And then suddenly those pre-orders and everything, you know, slow up, and then it will be a problem. So we want to make sure that every day we're achieving, you know, attainable goals.
Right. Crypto
Great.
Duck, I added that just for
Fantastic.
you, by the way. The little laughing, crying emoji. I did that for you because you asked about it last time. Georgie, we'll take this one last question. He said, is this exchange going to be distributed in the decentralized environment? I think he's talking about your stuff, Yeti.
I would guess that'd be probably inside a mine farm. And yeah, that is the plan. Everything except the database, shall we say, because that has to have a certain level of security around it. Has to be run by us. Everything else, though, the front end, everything could, in theory, be decentralized.
That's
completely.
awesome. I can't wait to see where it goes, man. Well, as always, guys, you're all amazing. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us on episode 24 of the Mining Roundtable. Thank you so much to all the VIP members that have became members. Don't forget, there is a couple more left. If you guys want to go to the 3 dots on the top and allow gifted memberships, you guys will soak those up before we get out of here. But again, appreciate all you guys. Automatic Beats, Fudweiser, Deniz. We have Bacon, Eggs, and Hash, K-Trim, Miss Pocket Change, as always. Slick Nick. We have Hawk Crypto, The Mining King, Veteran Miner. You guys are all awesome. Appreciate you all. Don't forget to go check out the new GPU hanger that is now being injection molded. I put a link in the chat. I will do it again for you guys if you're interested in getting them. And until next time, we'll catch you guys soon. Have a good night. Peace out. Obvious, doing that piece. Kill me. All right, we'll see you guys later. Peace out. Hanger. Misfit Mining and the Meter Box Company have partnered up to bring back the GPU hangers better than ever. The iconic Misfit Mining GPU hanger is now going to be PVC injection molded, making them stronger and more heat resistant than ever before. This project will be 100% community funded and produced once our goal is met. As a thank you for all your support, we are running a massive giveaway for the entire month of September, giving away over $7,000 in prizes like the iPollo V1 Mini, Mini Classic Plus, G1 Mini, tons of meter boxes, GPU hangers, and limited edition NFTs. Check out the new GPU hanger and enter this amazing giveaway. No purchase is necessary. You may also purchase additional items for even better chances to win. The GPU hanger contest is worldwide, extending through September 30th. Winners will be publicly announced on October 5th.